and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single day. And if you're looking for daily short tarot readings, check out my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. If you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Lovers. We have the Four of Cups. We have Justice. The Wheel of Fortune. Nine of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. And I did see the Ten of Pentacles, so I'm going to take it. All right, this is interesting because this is going to be largely a reading for creatives. So for those of you who don't fall into that category, this may not be for you. Just so I don't waste your time. Okay, so I'm seeing in the past that there was some major heartbreak or disappointment that had to do with family, some sort of situation or trauma that happened that really influenced your creativity. For some of you, I'm seeing it completely cut it off, where you just rejected it. You weren't able to be creative, be passionate, tap into that side of yourself. And I'm seeing that this situation is beginning to balance itself back out. There is justice coming in, there's karma coming in, and you're choosing now to move forward with your creativity in a way that you haven't before. You've been able to choose yourself, because this Nine of Pentacles, wait a minute. I swear I jumped planes because I could have sworn that this was a different number. Anyways, that's why I keep looking at it weird. Sorry. Okay, so this is very much a card of independence, of whatever you nurture is growing, but it's because of your own decisions and your independence in doing that. It's somebody who's very much getting all their ducks in a row, who is really putting themselves first, sometimes for the very first time. This card is very much loving yourself in a way that maybe you've never done before, choosing your happiness in a way that you've never done before. And I'm seeing that's bringing in a lot of abundance and a lot of happiness because it's sort of cascading into different areas of your life. So for example, if you're a writer and you end up writing stories or scripts or, whatever, poetry, whatever your writing style is, and it ends up doing very well, that will bleed into your financial side of things, which will then bleed into your career side of things, which then bleeds into your happiness, which bleeds into your lifestyle, which bleeds into, the next thing. So what I'm seeing here is that your Ten of Pentacles energy may very much be attached to this talent that you had that's part of your life purpose that you kind of rejected for a really long time. And I'm hearing too that there's a little bit of a frustration because, let's just use the writer example because that's an easy one to give an example for. For a writer, if you went through this trauma or whatever that prevented you from writing, and you used to write every day, let's say before the situation happened, and you're just now getting back into it, and you're finding that it's either taking you longer to write something that would have taken you a much shorter amount of time, or you're finding that it's more difficult for you to either stay motivated or be consistent in the beginning. Remember that with the Wheel of Fortune, a wheel begins to turn after it's given a nudge. It's very rare that a wheel will turn if it's just been sitting there. When you nudge it or when there's a hill, it will start rolling. You may be feeling like you're sort of stuck a little bit. You just got to get that ball rolling. You got to get that wheel turning, okay? And then you'll be able to access that area of your creativity more quickly, more productively, and you'll be able to do things faster. And this goes for anybody. It doesn't have to be a writer. That's just the example that I gave because that was the first example that came to mind. What I keep seeing is a geode. So a geode is on the outside, it looks like a regular rock. But if you were to take a hammer and you were to hit that geode and break it in half, there are gems and crystals inside. And what I'm hearing is that you kind of have to break through that barrier because you kind of built this wall around that creative space. Largely, I think, to protect yourself, or it could have been because it reminded you of too much pain from your past. But you're having to break through that layer. And when you break through that layer, you're going to find these gems, these diamonds, these crystals, but they're going to be a little rough, right? You need to polish that. Go through this process with gratitude and with patience. Give yourself that space and that love to explore, to mess up, to write something that initially you might think is terrible, and then you may come to find there's a hidden gem there. Sometimes the smallest of gems that are hidden in that group of rock end up being the most precious. So this is going to be a process. Creativity is a process. That's why they all say my artistic or creative process is such and such when creatives and artists are telling their story and explaining their muses. So let the process come and go naturally. Don't try to force it too much. If you need to take a break and you need to take it one step at a time, do that. Because if you create more of that frustration and you create more of that wall around that geode, it's going to be harder to get down into the gems and crystals and diamonds beneath the surface. But if you nurture that instead, and you sort of slowly break away at that layer, eventually it's going to become weak to where when you hit it with that hammer, it's just going to crack completely open for you. It's kind of a weird analogy, but I think you get the point. So take your time with it. Allow your process to kind of come back, and you may come to find that your creative process has changed since before this situation because you're not the same person anymore. And you may come to find that even though, we'll use the writer example again, even though you may not be writing as quickly as you used to, your writing may have more substance than it did, or it may be better, or it may be flowing in a different way, or you're accessing it a different way. So be open to exploring those possibilities, that process and that creativity that comes to you, because it's going to end up leading you to this 10 of Pentacles energy. You just need to have some faith that it's going to work out. Continue putting yourself first and continue putting your process first and continue nurturing it. And it will undoubtedly turn the tide and allow all this positive energy that's right on the precipice to come in. So this is your reading. If it resonated with you, don't forget to like this video. Your affirmation for this reading is, I am finding the hidden gems that are within my creative process. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.